All right, everybody. You've been lied to, not once, not twice, but for your entire life. One of the greatest wealth transfers in human history is happening right now, and 99% of the people are sleepwalking straight past it, and maybe even you as well. Now, if you've ever wanted to escape the cubicle death march, if you've ever wanted to get off the hamster wheel of not trading your soul for a paycheck, well, this is your wake up call because everything you were taught about money is about to be vaporized. Hey, I'm Jeff Swanson, tapping you on the shoulder and pointing at that giant asteroid barreling towards Earth. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is just some guy on the internet shaking his fist at the monetary machine. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into this. So, while you were watching Netflix and debating if Elon Musk gave the world a Hitler salute, the biggest wealth transfer in history is unfolding. Here's the playbook they sold you. Take 10 or 20% of your paycheck, feed it into the Wall Street machine by buying ETFs, cross your fingers and pray for those annual 8% returns. Meanwhile, you're being slow cooked by a system designed to keep you broke. Did I tell you we're living through a financial singularity? A complete rewiring of how value moves throughout the world. And yes, dare I say it, we are witnessing a once in a humanity event. Now, that's not hyperbole. I am being literal here. This can only happen once, and you, my friend, have a front row seat. Now, think back. Just like how the iPhone killed the Nokia brick, and just like how the internet vaporized newspaper empires, this next disruption is about money itself. Money is being rebuilt. The old financial system isn't just broken, it's a weapon aimed directly at your future wealth. But there's hope, and there's opportunity sitting right in front of you. And no, it's not another stock pick, it's not an ETF, and it's certainly not another hot investment tip. It's a financial phoenix rising from the ashes of your dead fiat dreams. And you can either ride it or get left behind in the dying world of fake money. And that phoenix, of course, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, that's just digital tulips, Jeff. A Ponzi scheme, a casino chip for tech bros. I get it. I used to think the same thing too. You turn on the TV, and that's what you're going to hear: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Conventional finance, such as what you're going to hear from universities, CNBC suits, they're all clueless when it comes to Bitcoin. They don't understand the tech, they don't understand inflation or even understand what money is. They're still betting that Blockbuster VHS rentals is a better model than Netflix streaming. But I do suspect that some of these so called experts and politicians do understand Bitcoin, and they're lying to you about it. Why? Well, quite frankly, because they're terrified of it. Why would they be terrified of it? Well, Bitcoin doesn't need them. That makes it public enemy number one for their $1 trillion gravy train. What if I told you Bitcoin is not an investment? What if I told you it's actually the escape hatch from the biggest scam in human history? I'm talking about the fiat system, which is the Titanic, and it's taking on water. And there's only a few lifeboats out there, and Bitcoin, my friend, is the lifeboat. If you truly understood what Bitcoin is, you'd already be stacking stats like your life depended upon it. Every paycheck, every spare dollar, every coffee you didn't buy. But I know you're not doing it because you're still playing their game. You haven't put in the hours to understand the game. You're sitting at the poker table unaware that you are the mark. And yes, their game is rigged. The fiat world and the 9 to 5 daily work grind is not a level playing field. It's a gravity well designed to suck your wealth into their pockets. Bitcoin is not an investment. It's not a stock. It is not a company. It's an invention. The internet revolutionized communication. Bitcoin is revolutionizing value. For the first time in human history, we have perfect money. It's code, it's math, it's thermodynamically sound money. There is no middleman, no banks, no rent seekers siphoning money from your pockets. Bitcoin is disrupting money itself. For the first time in 5,000 years, we've invented perfect money. Not a government money, not a bank money, not a trust us, we're the Fed money. It's so new that half the world doesn't even see it for what it is. It's kind of like grandma trying to open up a TikTok account. Bitcoin is a bit of a misnomer. It's not really a coin. It's better described as a money protocol. Now, let me say that again for the people in the back row. Bitcoin is not a meme coin. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not digital gold for libertarian preppers. It is a communications protocol for value. 50 years of cryptography, game theory, and computer science are all rolled up into this unstoppable financial weapon. Now, the internet runs on protocols too: FTP, HTTP, TCP. Bitcoin is the protocol that makes money work. Now, you don't need to know the details, but with it, you can store, transmit value without asking for permission from a bank, a government, or other financial middleman. Really, this is not just revolutionary. You're not just charging the German front lines with a musket. You're entering the war with a thermonuclear warhead launched from a submarine parked offshore. Here is the core problem with every dollar in your bank account: it's melting every day like an ice cube in your brandy old fashioned. Now, since you were born, everything has gotten more expensive. I'm sure you've noticed. The truth is, your money just got weaker. That cup of coffee your grandpa bought for a nickel is now $5. That's because the dollar is losing value. They call it inflation, but let's call it for what it really is: systematic wealth extraction, engineered by the Federal Reserve. I know what you're saying, but Jeff, that's just how an economy works. We need inflation. No, that's how theft works. When they print money, they're not creating wealth, they're stealing your purchasing power. Inflation is not a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's designed. Inflation is, quite frankly, a hidden tax that bleeds you dry year after year. It goes a little something like this: you work 40 hours a week, they print, they devalue your work. So you have to work harder and or live with less. See how that works? It's the hamster wheel from hell. Your parents could buy a house on one income. You can barely buy a closet. Again, this isn't an accident. This is fiat doing its job, transferring wealth upward. Get that? Transferring wealth upward. Hey, Jeff, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. It's not conspiracy theory. It's documented monetary policy. They write papers about it. They brag about it at Jackson Hole while sipping cocktails on the ski slopes. Again, did I tell you this is the biggest heist in human history? And it's happening in broad daylight under your nose, but only 1 in 1,000 people can see it. What's cool about Bitcoin? It flips the script. No government control, no corporate overlords, no single point of failure. Again, Bitcoin is an army of computers worldwide. It's like the internet, but for money. And here's the beautiful part: it's designed to do one thing perfectly: store and transmit value without requiring permission. Like I said, no banks, no bureaucrats, no middleman skimming their cut. Bitcoin is pure weaponized math running on unbreakable code. But here's the kicker: the nuclear option that makes Bitcoin lethal to the legacy system. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. Forever. On a Bitcoin standard, the money printer is permanently broken. They can't inflate it, they can't print it to fund their war or bailout. When you hold Bitcoin, you're holding a piece of the hardest money ever created by humans. I want you to think about that. For the first time in your life, you can own an asset that can't be stolen through inflation. Now, again, this is not just revolutionary. This is civilization changing. Maybe I can make a video about that down the road. Now, let's go back to 1995. The smart money said that the internet was a fad. Today, You carry it in your pocket. Well, Bitcoin is going to be getting the same treatment from the so called intellectuals. But here is the difference: the internet changed how we communicate. Bitcoin is changing the foundation of human civilization, how we store and transfer wealth. Bitcoin is going to separate money from the government. It is a neutral arbiter, the tool that lets you escape financial tyranny, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. Bitcoin represents the next step in monetary evolution, and you, my friend, have that front row seat. 99% of the world hasn't figured this out yet. This is your window. This is your alpha. You can own a piece of it today, while most of the world is hypnotized by TikTok videos, too busy to pay attention as they work 50 hours per week at their dead end job. Let's recap this life changing idea. The financial system is a rigged casino. Inflation is systematic theft of your time and purchasing power. This isn't theory, this is thermodynamics at work. Bitcoin is a radical invention that gives you the option to opt out of this failing fiat system. For the first time in human history, you can own an asset that is absolutely uncensorable, unconfiscatable, uninflatable. They can't steal it, they can't print more, they can't control it. It's totally in your hands. Hey, Jeff, isn't Bitcoin risky? Well, the real question, like I said, is can you afford to stay in a system designed to vaporize your wealth? Dare I say, owning the dollar is more risky than Bitcoin. Listen, nations are buying Bitcoin. Corporations are hoarding Bitcoin. Pension funds are quietly stacking while you're saying it's too risky. But those people did their homework. Have you done your homework? Think of today as 1998 and someone told you about a little company called Amazon. Now, most people thought it was just an online bookstore. Well, we know how that story ends. And this, my friend, is your wake up call to what's happening today. Stop playing defense. Stop letting them steal your future by printing money. Bitcoin is not a trade, it's perfect money. You're not buying a meme coin. You're putting your wealth into a digital vault secured by cryptography and a wall of energy. Welcome to the end of fiat. This is your moment. I want you to look into it. Don't take my word on it. Figure out what Bitcoin is and what it's not. Learn what money is. Study the flaws of the system that you're currently in and see how Bitcoin fixes it. And once you do, the world is going to snap into focus and Bitcoin becomes obvious. All right, more videos incoming. Please like and share this video with any poor soul who's trapped in fiat hell, and let me know what you want me to break down next. All right, take care.